Now we move on into a leadership level dialogue that brings strategy and alignment in one place. The leaders who will be here in front of you, they walk the talk, and they will bring ample years of experience to tell you how they do that. To guide this discussion, we joined by a moderator who plays a vital role in talent capability. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome the Managing Director of North Star Management Consultancy, Mr. Mohammed Sami. And now allow me to introduce our distinguished panelists, respected HR leaders with diverse experience, perspectives, and executive proximity. First, a leader whose presence on the stage is a privilege for us. Strategic thinker, author, executive coach, HR thought leader, and a keynote speaker. Someone who has been instrumental in elevating HR practices for more than 20 years. The Assistant General Manager of Human Resources Group at Bobian Bank, Mr. Abdelaziz Al-Rumi. Joining him is a senior group HR director who drives organizational performance and culture through strategic talent development. Please join me in welcoming the senior group HR director at ASICO Group, Mr. Ahmed Rajab. And lastly, a leader with deep exposure across multiple business sectors who continues to play an influential role in organizational direction, the Group HR Director at Bute Holding, Mr. Mohammed Zeki.
So I'm truly honored to be with such great leaders that I personally look up to. And you represent great organizations, and I want to highlight on the different backgrounds that we have here. So I don't know if everyone here knows a few of these things, but I'll expose them. Now, Mr. Abdelaziz Al-Rumi is a computer engineer. Engineer Ahmed Rajab by default is an engineer, okay? And of course, Mr. Mohammed Zeki is into finance and investment accountancy as well. So Bobian is really well known for their transformation, using the technology, being a young organization, and of course for Engineer Ahmed Rajab, like we all know about ASICO and the success story, especially in the most recent years when he took the leadership. And we have seen like how KRH went from strength to a strength, and now it is a publicly listed organization. So I'm really curious, and I want to ask each one of you, what is the most challenging situation that you have encountered at Bobian, at ASICO, and at KRH that you can highlight for us and the HR professionals here can learn from you? And let me start with Busheib, that's Rumi.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. Glad to see that people are still here. I hope they stay till the end of the day. When I first came as head of talent and learning at Bobian Bank back in 2021, I was asked one question: what is talent? The main challenge that I had is people were identified as talented and non-talented. And that's an issue, right? When it comes from coaching perspective, from learning perspective, if this person doesn't fit your agenda, doesn't mean that this person is useless or is not talented. God created every one of us with a special talent. So if it doesn't fit here, it doesn't fit now, doesn't mean this person is useless. So it took me time to convince the management with a framework of what an ideal aspiring leader and leader of Bobian. From that point onwards, I was able to explain why I would select a specific individual based on set of competencies, set of behaviors, development interventions, and why we do things differently than others, basically because they make sense to us.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Engineer Ahmed Rajab.
Assalamu alaikum. The last session before lunch. To cut the story short, Mohammed, and thanks for the question. I've encountered many challenges in my life, but the most recent one in Essico, when we took over the office 2.5 years ago, the morale was down, motivation was down, energy was down. People worked in silos. There was no collaboration. There was, in fact, pinpointings in meeting rooms. People used to attack each other around the table, literally. So it was a challenge to change this mindset. The CEO were hired around the same time I was hired, in the same month. And we had an agenda to transform the company from a company that is almost filing bankruptcy in 2021 to a company that we should make money. And of course, my mandate was the people, apart from everything else, finance and operation. So I tried to open communication. So at first we focused on internal communication and how can we reach out everyone around, including blue collars. So we created a department called People Experience. We emphasized the internal communication, and we took every opportunity possible to encounter with the frontliners. After all, my salary is paid from those frontliners that are working in the factories. Alhamdulillah, people were surprised, to be honest, and I encountered people, I came across people that they've never seen a manager from the head office for 14 years. Wow. It was the first time that they see someone from the head office for the 14 years. So we made some change. We started to open communication. In fact, I started literally walking around and open doors. People used to close their doors and work in silos, like I said earlier. We also started some metrics to measure our performance. Like, for example, we introduced engagement survey. And I did not go for those expensive ones because it wasn't the culture. The culture wasn't trying to introduce something expensive at this time. So we started with the mindset change, introducing engagement surveys. We waited for every meeting to encourage collaboration. We invented something called Zwart al-Khamis, Essico Zwara, where we can increase collaboration. And let me tell you the truth. Once we started this Zwara every Thursday, people started seeing each other, talking to their neighbors. Like I said earlier, when they work in silos and they don't even know what other people do. So this Zwara, share a laugh, share a nice moment, share a piece of cake or whatever, increased their knowledge of each other, which led to increased productivity, which led to increased loyalty. And now, in 2 years of time, I'm proudly saying that we have so many measurements that have been improved. For example, turnover rate is reduced from 11% to 4%. We see now people are asking to participate in engagement activities, and so forth. So I think this would be the most challenging assignment that I took over.
Well, indeed.
In my
we all
most
have
recent.
seen it online, on LinkedIn, what you have done. So great job done.
Thank you, Mohammed.
And we move to Biyut Holding, or as most of the people know it as KRH.
Well, hi everyone. Well, Abu Suhaib and Ahmed said most of it, but I'm going to take it from a different angle, and I'll be reflecting on the experience that we had in Biyut Holding. The date I joined them early 2018. We were moving from a family company, a family business, to a listed corporate in the Kuwaiti Borsa. And this was basically the dream that the management had back in the days. So the challenge that I faced is the power positioning of the HR within the organization and the level of the influence that the HR has on the strategic decision making. So most of us played the role of the HR when it comes to the transactional role, but when it comes to transformational role, it requires a lot of influence, a lot of presence, and a lot of business acumen as well to convince the management and the business unit heads that you are a strategic business partner, not just a transactional executor. So how did we play it? Basically, it starts from building a corporate governance model and how to integrate the HR as part of this corporate governance model when it comes to policies, procedures, and the whole operating model of the corporate. Moving forward, it's about building a very solid trust with the strategic business leaders, those guys who are willingly required to give out some of their power, to balance the power distance within the organization, and to start consulting the HR and getting them involved in operational decisions that impacts the P&L by the end of the day. So it required a lot of internal communication, as Ahmed said, a lot of cultural development and enhancing the people labeling thing, as Abu Suhaib said. But basically, the most important part is to have a fair and a consistent performance management system, total rewards, because by the end of the day, people will measure the impact of the HR within the organization with the consistency of the decisions being made toward them. So basically, this is, was the highest, I would say, challenge that we faced, and we managed to conquer, alhamdulillah.
Well, that's great indeed, and I want to capitalize on something that you have mentioned, which is the business acumen or being business savvy. So rather than talking the language of many HR, unfortunately, they will talk about like the payroll, the sales certificates, and this and that. I want you to highlight for us how being in the field, how about having the knowledge really helped you to convince the management, speaking the language of the management or the language of the business, and who are the partners or the friends or the allies that you have had within your organizations to help you fulfill these things. And we'll go back to Mr. Abdel Rumi.
By all means, when I first came and I kept with many ideas, okay, we've been doing things within HR, especially within the talent part for the past 12 years in the same way. And I'm seeing a compiling misperceptions of people, a lot of judgment, tagging. People come to me and they tell me that I've been in the talent management or I've identified as a talent since 2008. So I should be a general manager by now. But sorry, you were already outdated and it was just a program. We get this. Yes, so that's many things that I had to change. Whenever I try to propose something, they tell me, no, this doesn't work in banking. It works in oil and gas. It works on this. It works on agility, because I come from different backgrounds and industries. I had to do it on two ways. Since I am a computer science and engineer, I went back to the IT, because IT will be our ally in the future. Why? Because of AI, machine learning, data science, all of this. And everyone who cares and owns the data part. And I explained to them that I am relying more on data. Why? Because how I like to say it is data defeats doubt. Okay, less intuition, more reality, more practical. The second part is going with the leaders that are most influential. As I say in the past, we need to be good friends with the CFO. I don't see this happening anymore, not even the business. It's actually this specific influential stakeholders, in addition to what I mentioned again to the IT. So I went to these people, I explained to them my methodology, my ideas, and why to change and build the current talent management framework, because basically it will make everyone's lives easy. We can all agree that this person is the high potential talent, and we can all agree that this person is no longer a best fit for the organization. With this, I was able to win the people who really care and the ones who are really practical. These two were, it wasn't a department in addition to the IT. These were the two people that I was looking for, and they really helped me a lot and will still help me. And they are very much my pilot whenever I launch anything new within HR.
Thank you so much for that. And let's move to Engineer Ahmed Rajab.
Thank you, Mohammed. At first, when I realized the magnitude of the assignment, I couldn't do it alone. I needed help. So I reached out for an old friend of mine, goes back 20 years. He's a consultant. He's a German consultant from Germany. His name is Dr. Hans. So I called him. I told him, Houston, we have a problem. We have a problem in the mindset, in the leadership. I needed help. So I invited him to Kuwait, and we managed to get him on board. So we started the journey where we wanted to transform the leaders so we can transform the staff, so we can transform the business. And that's the idea. So we focused on the top 60 leaders. From the CEO down, the top 60 leaders. We took them through a 6 months leadership intense training. Wow. 6 months, where they have to do, of course, assignments and all, and with the objective of getting them aligned to the strategy, to collaborate more, getting to know about each other, and of course, convey the message across to their next generation, to their next successors. The program was a success. In fact, the CEO kicked off another program similar to that. We called it Batch 2. When it comes to leadership, when it comes to the values, we also focused on the values. And we were looking into ways of how to embed and embrace the values better. We came up with an idea called the ESICO Ambassador, and this is very recent. In fact, the badge that I'm wearing right now, it's ESICO Ambassador. It's not me, but I stole it just to present it to you right now. It's not mine. It's actually for a selected group of people that were selected carefully based on psychometric test. Why? Because we wanted them to be the ambassadors of those values, go around, interact, actually not much required by them, just by them being themselves, walk around, getting involved with other teams, do their business, and every touch point with a colleague, we hope that they convey the value through every touch point. And that's why we selected them as ESICO ambassadors. And now when selecting the best department that we worked with, not IT, not finance, maybe not yet, but to be honest, I would say marketing is number one for a simple reason. Why? Because it's all about communication. Our secret of success is communication. And when you want a communication, marketing, they do good in communication when they talk about when they talk to the customers. So we reached out for their help in getting some tricks and tips and tricks how to do proper communication. Although it's internal, but the know-how exists with marketing. I think this is pretty much.
Thank you. Very strong indeed.
Thanks.
Thank you. Moving to you, Mr. Mohammed Zaki.
Well, if I'm going to reflect on my personal experience with Butte, I think my first friend, corporate-wise, is of course the finance.
Is that because you are in finance yourself?
Because they are the most vicious, I would say, enemies as well. So, to be honest, this is how things went. I had to reach out to the finance guys because they are the ultimate guys who are measuring the business results. And moving from this level to a deeper level with the operation teams to understand what are the key behaviors that contributes to the bottom line of the organization. This is how I started to learn more about the business of the subsidiaries, understand how to influence and to enhance the key behaviors that contributes to the bottom line. And this is how I got a kind of more power positioning for the HR. If I'm going to reflect on the enhancements that happened from there, if you have better business acumen, you will have more trust. If you have more trust, you will have more influence, and you will be able to play around with the HR cards when it comes to imposing programs or designing new talent management strategy, or even, as Ahmed was mentioning, which is a very important part when it comes to the transformational leadership programs that you implement within the organization. You cannot have a good and solid power positioning for the HR within the organization if you don't have the buy-in of the leadership. So how can you culturalize them to be more self-aware, to be more humble, to be more agile, and have the resilience needed to let people influence the decisions that they used to take it by themselves before? That's it.
Well, that was very powerful indeed. Now, my last question, again, to all of you. In one sentence, what could be your advice to the next generation of HR professionals trying to climb up the corporate ladder and to reach the level of HR leadership? So, Abu
For
Suhaib.
me, it's one word: integrity. Integrity, integrity, integrity.
And Engineer Rajab?
I can't beat that. But I would say, don't say no, accept every opportunity, and you don't know where it would lead. This is my humble opinion.
Thank you so much. And last but not the least,
I would say learn as much as you can about the business that you are serving, and always bring a good intention in front of any action you are taking toward your people.
okay, that's great. Anyone is interested to ask one or two questions to the esteemed panel? Anyone? Well, I guess you have said all, and there are so many lessons to be taken away from that. So thank you so much for this. And we will want to keep Mr. Abdulaziz Rumi, because there is another lucky draw coming. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah. So I guess integrity, 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 right?
Yeah, nothing in under my sleeve.
That's awesome.
in
And
case, يعني.
data defeats doubt, which is awesome. Amazing insights that we have gained from this amazing panel discussion. And we would like to thank our panelists and also our leaders for sharing these insights with us. This is the main purpose of attending such conferences. You have leaders from different domains, different industries, bringing their most important challenges that they have faced in their careers to share with us and tell us openly on what to do, and also advise us on how to face them in the future. So with that being said, now it's time for our Chief of Happiness, Master of Lucky Draws, please.
And before I thought, thank you so much for the session, and we always appreciate once we learn from leaders like you. It's to everyone here. Thank you so much for that. And speaking of that, we are having a really good opportunity that we are doing a lucky draw, and the winner will have a coffee talk, HR coffee talk with Mr. Abdulaziz Al-Rumi. Okay.
Coffee's on you.
Okay. Let's see.
236.
Please raise your hand.
I hear the woo, but I don't see the big answer. 236, another woo? No.
All right.
No one wants a coffee with me. I see. 230.
230.
The third one, I will ask a question.
Exactly.
Okay?
That's what I was going to say.
233.
All right. I think it's a question time.
Question time. Really quick, really fast. Okay? Data defeats. نيني مروشكا يعطيك الصحة والعافية. Second question. Between management and leadership, which one focuses on strategy? Which one focuses on operations? Management operations. Thank you. A good name?
Yeah.
خلاص, then three of you.
Both of them,
Three
to
of
make
you.
it fair.
3 or 5?
Five.
5?
Two more.
Inshallah, 2 more. When can anyone give me a tip of coaching? Yes.
You already won.
Okay.
Two,
Good.
two sessions
Good.
for you.
Integrity. 100%. Not yet. Not yet. Know the history. شنو? Active listening. Free coffee. يلا.
And one more.
One more.
Thank you so much.
Can you give me another name for human resource?
We did answer.
Human capital. Okay. What else? Pardon? People and culture. I like this. Okay. So, let's go with this.
Thank you, Mr. Abdulaziz.